Welcome to the Notary News Channel. This is a forum for all things notary and some things not. Please be sure to like and subscribe so that you can be notified when the latest videos are posted. My name is Desiree Roman Rodriguez, and I'm a subject matter expert in all things notary in the state of Illinois. I'm also an enrolled agent credentialed by the Internal Revenue Service to prepare taxes, troubleshoot tax issues, incorporate businesses, and represent taxpayers and small businesses all the way up through the U.S. Tax Court. This week on the forum, we're going to talk about the notary law changes happening in Illinois as of January of 2022. Now, the businesses that are hire notaries and train notaries and want to make sure that they are keeping their notaries informed definitely want to make sure that you are sending your notaries to annual training so that they can get updates like this. So one of the biggest changes happening in Illinois for notaries is the maintaining of a notary journal. So prior to this year, notary journals were highly recommended by the state of Illinois as a result of the Vancouver versus Catrice ruling that happened in 2009. But now, as of this year, journals will be mandatory. So if you are an employer and you weren't requiring your notaries to maintain a journal, they now need to have a journal. Now, some businesses that I have trained previously asked me about maintaining a communal journal, meaning a record that they were able to keep that all the clients would sign and the library would maintain a record of all notarizations done in their business. Well, that was a no. They were not able to do that before. With the new changes coming through for this year, if you're a business that wants to maintain a communal journal and have a record of all notarizations done within your office, you are now able to do that. However, your notary must also maintain her journal as well. So just be aware, if this is an option that you're going to exercise, that the customer who is requiring the notarization to be done will need to sign two journals, the communal journal and the notary's journal. So that's one of the changes happening this year regarding notary journals. Another big change is going to be the fee. So before it was $1 for each document that was notarized. Now it's going to be $5 for each document notarized. This is going to be critical for notaries who are excluding the income from their self-employment exemption tax. So before this year, $1 was the fee that you could deduct from your self-employment tax income. Now it will be $5 for each notarization that you will be able to deduct. Now, if you have not downloaded our self-employment notary tax app, this is definitely going to be something that you're going to want to do. And the app allows you to include fees for remote online notarizations and to be able to change the fee from the $1 to the $5. Now, remote online notarization is also going to be another change. Now, this year, Illinois notaries will now be able to do remote online notarizations. Now, we had the ability to do that very briefly in 2020 when the governor mandated that notaries could do that due to the pandemic. But once that went away, Illinois notaries could not continue to do that. But as of January of this year, we are now able to do remote online notarizations. The caveat to doing remote online notarizations is we are not going to be allowed to do nationwide remote online notarization. So there are states that do offer that service. We are not going to be one of them. So if you are going to do a remote online notarization, first of all, you want to make sure you get training for that. And secondly, it's only going to be for people who are within the state. So if you are in Chicago and someone from Carbondale, Illinois wants to get a notarization done remotely online, you would be able to do that. But if someone in Gary, Indiana wants to get a notarization done from someone in Carbondale, Illinois, they would not be able to do that. The remote online notarization could only be while the other person is in Illinois and you are in Illinois. Now, another change coming through for this year is going to be notaries being able to do electronic notarizations. It's going to require its own separate training. There's going to be a higher fee that you can charge for electronic notarization, so that'll be a good thing. And it's going to require technology and equipment, and you definitely want to make sure that you get the training for that. You have to get approved by the state of Illinois in order to do that type of notarization. Now, when you are applying for your notary commission, your notary commission is going to include your face-to-face notarizations, and it's going to include remote online notarizations. You need a separate approval to get commissioned to do electronic notarizations. Okay, now the next thing that's hugely going to impact notaries is going to be required course training and testing. So as of July 1, Illinois notaries who apply for a notary commission are supposed to have 180 minutes of required course training and pass a 50-question test. If you do not take the required training, you do not pass the test, you cannot be issued a notary commission. Prior to that, you did not need to do those things in order to get your notary commission. Now you will be required to. However, as of now, the final determination of process and procedures for implementing that has not been finalized by the state. Now, us, Roman Endeavors Inc., as a company that trains notaries, we have been a part of giving our opinions and advice and recommendations to the state on how this is going to roll out and how that's going to impact constituents and people who are notaries or going to continue to be notaries or who want to become new notaries. Right now, that 180-minute requirement, we're unsure whether or not that's going to include breaks, whether that includes the 50-question test, or if the test and breaks are going to be exclusive of the 180 minutes. And so those kinds of things have not been worked out yet. And then right now, from my understanding, is there's only going to be two ways that the training can be offered, and that's the notary or the potential notary coming into a vendor's office and being there and taking the training there while being overseen by a proctor, or an online test that you read through. You have to press the buttons to make sure that you are there and that you are the person who's taking the test, to acknowledge your attendance in the training. And then after that, you take an online test, and then that you would have to submit with your application. So the way that Roman Endeavors Inc. does notary trainings is we travel to the businesses and we do the trainings live on site at an employer's location, or we offer live webinars where you get a seasoned professional who is live. There's an interactive webinar going on. You get to ask questions. There is interaction between you and the instructor, and so that you get a thorough understanding of what it is that you're learning, and you don't have to sit and read for 2 hours. Now, these two methods are not currently methods being offered by the state in their required training. So these are things that we have been trying to work with the state for. So if that is something that you are wanting to do and you have not received yet your notary commission, then we're unsure whether or not the state has stopped taking notary applications or whether or not they're continuing to take them and issue them because the process hasn't been finalized. But from our understanding, there's no vendor that has been approved to provide training to Illinois notaries at this time. But if you have already received your commission, then obviously that is not a requirement for you because you already have your commission. And in that case, you definitely would want to seek training so that you understand the process and procedures and minimize the risk to you and any liabilities to your employer for any mistakes that you may or may not make. Again, a lot of times people think being a notary just means signing your name and stamping a piece of paper, and that is clearly not the case. You must get some real training to understand what the process and procedures are for being a notary and understand the liabilities and have the confidence to know that you are doing what you need to be doing when you are executing your notarizations. So as of now, that process has not been finalized by the state of Illinois. And so if the state is still accepting applications, then you might want to go ahead and get your application in so that you don't have to worry about taking that mandatory course and test. Otherwise, once that is finalized, then you will not be able to receive your notary commission until those things have been implemented. So right now, if you have questions, we'll try our best to answer them. We'll put a link below to the legislation that was initiated back in April that showed what the initial changes were. It's a lot of pages, a lot of legalese, a lot of trying to decipher, but we'll put it there for you so that you can access it and understand what the changes are. It's so much more than my short synopsis right now, but that way you can get a bigger picture of just how much changes is happening and how that may or may not impact you as a notary for the state. If you have a question that you don't want to post, comment below. You can always feel free to send an email to info@romanendeavors.com, and we'll get back to you as soon as we are able. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.